Hey y'all, it's Chelsea T, and today's video is going to be very different. I'm going to be talking about a skin condition that I have. Just waking up, I want it to be as comfy as possible, so please excuse my appearance. It's been a trying day already. So the skin condition that I'm going to be talking about is hidradenitis and I probably just butchered that, so I'm going to be referring to it as HS moving forward. I've had this condition for, I would say, over 20 years. So I first noticed it when I was around 12, and I'm 33 now. And that's a long time to have to deal with something, and there's not a cure. They really don't know a lot about it. So, of course, going to specialists, dermatologists, and all of that, it has been very frustrating over the years. Trying to get some answers, trying to find a intervention or treatment to either manage it or to reduce the likelihood of, say, triggering my system into forming a cyst, a boil, or whatever you want to call them. So typically the cyst would form in the folds of your skin. For me, it has typically been underneath my arms. When I first started noticing them, they were strictly in my right armpit. Now it's both armpits. I'm finding that they will come on underneath my breast, in my groin area. I have had one even in the folds of my ear, which was very depressing. And as I'm getting older, I'm finding that they're more frequent. The area in which they will form is unpredictable, and I am really struggling with dealing with the care and the maintenance after they rupture or they start to drain. So I don't know what direction this video is going to go in. I'm not going to go into like specifics of the condition. There's a lot of useful, helpful information already on YouTube. This is just really my experience of dealing with the skin condition. So like I said, if I first noticed it when I was 12, underneath my arm or in my armpit, and I thought, well, maybe it's the ingrown hair, or I do believe I was kind of experimenting with shaving, so maybe I nicked the skin and got some type of infection or whatever the case may be. But it would always come back in the same location, and I noticed that I started to get little tunnels or kind of nodules, if you will, underneath the skin, and the nerves in that location were something was going on with them. Like when I would press on that location, it would be almost like a numbing sensation. So went to my doctor. My mom took me, and I believe they wrote it off just like, okay, you know, she's starting her period, hormones and all of that, and kind of wrote it off as, you know, this will resolve itself. And for several years, it just kind of, every so often, it would be under my right armpit. And for several years, that was the case. And I would say in my early 20s, that's when it started kind of rotating between both armpits. And depending on the location, like I said, this is so fucking painful. And I'm sorry to, you know, cuss on here, but if you have dealt with this, you already know, like, and I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but just trying to move throughout the day is a struggle. And unfortunately, the world does not stop. When you have a flare, you're still expected to kind of get up, interact with others, go to work, go to school, or whatever the case may be, and you are literally fighting for your life. It feels like it has been very difficult. So kind of dealt with that, learned to, okay, I can feel it coming, just go ahead and use some type of topical cream or take some turmeric for the inflammation or whatever the case may be. And, you know, it just, okay, I have this skin condition. It is what it is. I started to do some research to see, like, okay, if you're obese or you have extra weight on you, that could be a trigger or cause of HS. So I really got very intentional about my eating, exercising. Like I just said, it is difficult just to get up from the bed. It's difficult to get up from the couch. So trying to exercise with a cyst, or even when it's draining, is I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. And I know some people will view that as just an excuse. You're supposed to push through. Life is tough, all that kind of bullshit. But like I said, this is a whole nother type of pain. So I really have not been intentional with exercising or really moving to get rid of the weight. So it is something that I am trying to figure out and grasp day by day. So I would say that I am in stage 3. There's tracks, there's, you know, tunnels, if you will, that are underneath my armpits, underneath my, well, under my breasts as well. That is a new location. And the first time that I had a cyst there, I literally had a breakdown. I said, oh my God, this is cancer, because I had never had any type of lumps, cysts, or anything, and it was right there at the fold. And I had a procedure. They biopsied it, and thank God it was just, but it was infection from a cyst stemming from the HS. So that was a sigh of relief, but then at the same time, like, damn, like, it is moving. Now this is another location that I have to deal with. So now it's under both arms, underneath my breast, and at that time I believe I was probably 29 or 30 or so, and just thinking about if I am able to live, say, up to elderly, I mean, I'm up there in age, that is a long ass time to be dealing with something that there's no cure for, and it is unpredictable. Before I could excuse me, before I could kind of monitor what I ate, and that would and to avoid certain trigger foods. And for me, it is definitely sweets, sugary foods, and certain nightshades that I know to definitely limit my consumption of. Now it is, I don't know if it's stress related. I do know if I really am stressed out and I don't manage that, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to get a flare somewhere. I do know it's about the same for my food, but that's not been consistent over these past few months. It's just the luck of the draw. If I eat something, I probably will get a cyst. So like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm finding that they're more frequent, they're unpredictable, they're popping up in new locations, and these locations are so intimate that it has caused, I don't want to get close to anyone. I do not want to try to get to know someone on a intimate level. I have no interest in dating, really to be around friends or to be around anyone, because I'm so concerned about, okay, do I stink? Do I stink? And being a fat person, I have a religious routine that I do not play about my hygiene. And it makes me wonder, because when it's draining and when it's an open sore on your body, it has a smell, and the smell is just, it's out of this world, and it makes me self-conscious. It makes me not want to, really leave my house, because I'm worried about, can they smell me? Do I have a stain on my clothes? Is the dressing still there? Is the tape holding the dressing in the place, in the spot that it needs to? It is a constant ordeal throughout the day. I cannot be present to really enjoy the conversations that I'm having, because I'm constantly worried about, this HS and my open sores, and like I said, it just makes me not even want to get out and deal with anybody. So I really don't know what I need to do at this point. I know there's different treatments out there, say with Humira, and with anything, the side effects, and the side effects on that medication are, that thing was like an entire page of potential side effects. And I know with any type of medication, it just, again, it's the luck of the draw. How your body's going to react and respond to that medication is not going to be the same as another person's. And that was on the table several years ago in my early 20s. And I'm like, oh, well, it's there. It's an inconvenience. It's a hassle, but it's not as bad as it is now. So now, dealing with what I'm dealing with, that is probably an option that I'll explore when I go back to my dermatologist in a few weeks. I am at the point where I cannot continue to live how I'm living now, because the chronic pain, the expectation to still get up and go. You're trying to explain something to someone, and it's one of those conditions or illnesses where outwardly you don't look sick, you don't look like there's anything going on with you. So I don't know if it's they don't understand it, or they're refusing to understand it, or they just feel like, okay, well, it just sounds like a little bump. And I have had to show so much grace and restraint to people, because I'm like, girl, if you only fucking knew, you wouldn't have said that. You wouldn't have just kind of brushed it off like I'm talking about. Like I said, a little bump. This is something. So, and my heart goes out to anyone who is struggling or having to deal with HS, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody at all. And I know there's people out there who have more severe cases than I do, and I cannot imagine. I honestly cannot imagine. So, like I said, it's definitely impacted my mental health and my job. I have to interact with others. I have to be present with others. That's just what it is. And I do want to be present with others and have a life outside of this. I do not want this to be the deciding factor in my life, the deciding factor on if I go to a get together, the deciding factor if I, spend time with my family or friends, or take that trip, or whatever, take on that opportunity. I don't want that to be the case anymore. And this, for the past few years, has really defined my life. It's definitely changed my personality. It's definitely changed just my style, my clothing style, because I prefer to wear dark clothing. I love black, don't get me wrong, but I intentionally choose darker clothing because the risk of drainage and being able to see the pus and the blood and all of that, definitely changed my outlook on life, and just being down, just being depressed, being anxious, and also worried about, you know, one day could this result in cancer? Could this result in some severe life-threatening condition, or what the case may be? It is a constant concern about getting an infection, because you have these open sores, and sometimes they're so deep that they will not close on their own. So you have to see your medical provider for assistance with that. I don't know. So I'm guessing I made this video just to see other people who have this condition. What are you guys doing to manage it? What products, what supplements are you using? If you did complete the Humira treatment, you know, how was your experience with that? Would you recommend that going that route? Would you recommend the surgical route in removing those tunnels and the scar tissue and all of that? It's just at a place where I really don't know what I should do next. And you know, I'm very, very self-aware, and I'm noticing that isolating and not really wanting to do too much of anything, and I'm just really wanting to take really just wanted to get a jump on it and do whatever I needed to do to improve my situation the best way that I can. Right now, I'm dealing with three drain sites, two underneath my right arm, and underneath my breast, that I'm just monitoring it. You know, clean it, dress it multiple times throughout the day, and you know, just hoping and praying that they close and I won't have any other complications from those. Like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm noticing that they're more frequent. They pop up in different locations that I'm not accustomed to, that the pain tolerance on those sites are very low. So I just don't feel good. I just do not want to do much of anything. So any tips, any tricks, any interventions that you guys have used that seem to be successful, or what to eliminate even, I'm all ears, and I greatly would appreciate any type of comment, remarks, etc. that you guys can offer. So thank you for listening. I know it was probably all over the place, but I really wanted to get this video out just to get some feedback at this point. So thank you guys, and I'll see you on my next video.